school board to order. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Mr. Slagle, if you will read our vision, mission, core beliefs, and high priorities. please.
Absolutely. Here at North Posey, our vision is we inspire all students to achieve their potential for learning and life in a safe and supportive environment. Our mission is we partner with our community to create a dynamic and innovative educational experience, empowering students to become educated, productive, and responsible citizens. Our core beliefs: we believe our community is vital to our educational success. Everyone is valued and treated with respect, and always telling the truth. An educational opportunity for all. Student-centered programs, challenging and inspiring learning. In the pursuit of excellence through a strong sense of pride. And our high priorities: enhancing the student experience, investing in administrators and staff, fostering strong relationships among all, and maximizing our resources.
Thank you very much. So we are on to good news.
All right, well, President Oakley, we have a lot of students here, somebody representing all 4 of our schools, and they're going to share with us just kind of how their first month's going. All right, so our high school folks want to start off with, first. You want to introduce yourself and tell us what's going on.
I am Jackson Bosaker. I am a junior at North Posey High School, and I'm on the First Tech Challenge Robotics team that we have at the high school. I'm also a First Indian Robotics Student Board member.
All right,
Hi, my name's Jonathan Schmidt. I'm a senior at North Posey High School, and I am also on the FTC Robotics.
do you guys want to put stuff up here on the table to show us what's going on?
Yeah, introduce the robot.
So this is Carl, our robot.
You can push that book out of your way. I gotta ask, how'd you come up with Carl?
It's really a group effort to come up with Carl.
Yeah.
This is our 5th year doing FTC Robotics, and we've named our robots different names.
Okay, I thought maybe it was an acronym for something or something. So what's Carl do for you?
So this was last year's robot, and Carl pushed around these little pixel type items.
Do we have some? We do. We have
Look at
one.
that. So he pushed these around the competition floor and scored them into different zones that were on the floor. And then he could also basically do a pull-up with his arm.
Yeah,
You got points.
Yeah.
all right, well, congratulations on that. Do the wheels look like, do they do something different?
So these are called omnidirectional wheels. They allow the robot to move in any direction, so they also can move sideways.
Incredible.
Yeah.
All right.
How did the competitions go?
We did fairly well.
Pretty
Yeah.
well?
Yeah, fairly well.
What kind of language is Carl programmed in?
It's Java based, but I cheat and use blocks. It's kind of like
I get it, I
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a code.org type,
Okay.
just a little more complicated.
And who's your sponsor?
Mr. McMunn and Mr. Welch.
And their season is just getting ready to start.
Saturday, we had our game reveal to tell us what we were going to build our robot over this year. So we're pretty excited, and we've got a lot of good ideas so far going into that.
That also means that this is one of Carl's last days.
Does he get scrapped for parts?
Yep.
It's a rebirth.
We will miss you.
Some of the parts are just too expensive just to not take.
Well, I like that. This is part of our high priority. High priority is we're maximizing our resources. Do that. All right, guys, anything else? All right, thanks for sharing.
Yeah,
Thank you very
thank you.
much. Thank you. All right, who's here from our junior high? There are a couple of you? Let's step on up here and give us your name and what are we talking about tonight?
My name is Emily Schmidt. I am an 8th grader at North Pleasant Junior High.
And
Hi, I'm Paisley Fisher. I'm in the 7th grade at the junior high. I've joined the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, which is a club where we talk about our faith. I'm also a wide receiver for our football team, and I'm really enjoying these first 2 weeks of school.
awesome.
Right now I am doing volleyball and stubble, and it's going really good. We just got 2 new coaches for volleyball, and
How's that going?
Good.
Good? What are they teaching you?
Volleyball.
There you go.
I like the answer. Did you get that cool?
How's Stonewall going? We're supposed to talk about Stonewall.
Slow is going good. Our sponsor is actually. She also does math and English teaching. But so for Spellable, we have 8 spellers and we spell 9 words each, and we get for every word that we get right, we get a point onto our score. So there's a total of 72 points that we could possibly get.
Did you do Spellable last year too? And so you have high expectations again this year.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? Anything else? No?
Thank you.
All right, thanks for coming out this evening, for sharing. All right, how about from South Terrace? Who's here from South Terrace tonight?
Let me give them a little introduction.
All right,
Good news from South Terrace is that our enrollment is up.
yes.
So our students here are 2 new students
Welcome.
to our school. And they're going to talk about, after their first month, what life as a new student at South Terrace is like. So why don't you ladies introduce yourselves and tell them where you came from and what your first month has been like at South, okay?
And what grade you're in?
Hi, my name is Emily Taylor. I came from Gallatin County, Illinois. My first month at South Terrace has been very good. I feel like South Terrace is a much nicer school, and I feel like the people there are much nicer. And I just feel like overall it's just a much better place and everybody's more happier there.
What grade are you in, Bella?
That's great, thank you.
My name is Cora Frank. I'm a 4th grader, and my first month
Well, thanks, girls, for coming out and sharing that. I appreciate you kind of giving us a comparison of what you've done and what you're seeing different. Thank you so much.
What was your old school?
St. Wendell.
St. Wendell.
You guys want to tell them anything specific about, you said things are good, like what about your, what you're learning or in your classes?
I feel like the teachers at South Terrace are like more helpful. They help explain things better, and like they listen to what you have questions on when you have questions.
Do you find it challenging, more challenging than your old school, or about the same?
About the same. Yeah, that's the same.
You probably knew a lot of the people already.
Yeah.
Who are your teachers? Who are your homeroom teachers?
Mine's Miss Allman. Mine's Mrs. Wade.
This is who?
Wade.
Wade.
Well, thank you, girls.
Thank you. All right, who's here from North?
What's up? My name is Nathan Canal. My name is Benjamin Muller. I'm 6th grader. Yeah, I'm also a 6th grader.
You guys have the same teacher?
Yeah. Yes, Galvin. Yes. Thank you, sir. This year, our student council is hoping to have a Penny Wars fundraiser to raise money for new playground benches and donate it to the New Life Center. And this spring, we are hoping to schedule a trip to the New Life Center for the dogs and animals. My name is Nate. So, have I already said that? Okay, cool. Okay. Well, as student council, we will be helping collect food for families, and we will also be giving out Thanksgiving baskets, and we'll adopt a family for a family at Christmas. We have been helping tidy up our school by picking up trash and keeping our hallways clean.
That's awesome, thank you.
I was supposed to sit back down.
I believe that's everyone, right? Everyone's had a chance to get up?
I think so.
All right, well, we actually, our President Oakley here has something for each of you for coming this evening.
Thank you all for coming and sharing with us this evening. We just have a little certificate of our appreciation here.
Okay.
So I'll just bring these up.
Can I help you pass it up?
Yes.
The best part of the certificate is what's attached to the back.
Oh, we got tests?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one touchdown.
Yes. Taste it.
They spelled my name with an A and all that.
Oh,
We can fix this.
I just get what was sent to me.
Okay, my friends are headed back to work the concession stand, so we're
Yeah,
gonna.
volleyball
sit
game.
down and ready.
Thank you for coming out.
It's going on bridge.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Parents, boys and girls, thank you for coming. You're welcome to stay if you'd like to.
Yes. You didn't listen to this for a while.
See you, Carl. Good luck.
Yeah.
Judge, how's the car going?
Good. That was great.
They teach you volleyball.
Serving.
We're gonna ask our friends to come back in here now. All right.
Hey, Amy. Amy.
So we're gonna make one adjustment to the agenda tonight. We're gonna flip our budget hearing and our First Amendment lease.
So at this time, I would open the meeting for the public hearing of First Amendment to lease. I'll turn this over to Mr. McClellan and Mr. Mays.
Sure, yeah, Jacob McClellan with Bose, McKinney, and Evans. So I know you guys, at your last few meetings, have had hearings to take public comment on the projects. The structure of this bond, because of the size and to preserve your general obligation capacity for issuance, is through the building corporation. And so really the building corporation kind of exists on paper. They issue a bond, you enter into a lease with them. The lease payments line up with the bond payments. It's statutory under Indiana law to avoid debt limit issues. The building corporation met earlier this evening and approved kind of a similar resolution. We put out a notice over 30 days ago. There's a 30-day notice for this public hearing, but essentially this public hearing is to take public comment on the lease and whether the lease rentals are necessary and wise. Just for background, the First Amendment to lease that's in your packet includes not to exceed parameters and a not to exceed final payment date. Those are provided by Stiefel. Assuming you guys take public comment and approve the resolution and sign the lease tonight, what will happen is we'll be back at your October meeting. We'll put out a notice, and there's a 30-day remonstrance period. There's not a lot of teeth in that remonstrance. The prior remonstrances that you guys went through, periods, were the ones that really folks could kind of remonstrate against the project on. But we'll be back at your October meeting with another resolution to authorize actual bond documents. And there'll be the 30-day remonstrance period related to the lease, assuming everything's signed tonight, would run right around October 18th, October 20th. We'll work with Stiefel and with Todd to market the bonds during that period. And you guys would be able to sell and close kind of any day after that October 20th date. We had charted out, a bond sale in late November with a closing kind of early to mid December. So assuming you sign tonight, we get through the approval at next month's meeting. Once bonds are priced, we'll put together a package tabbed up like we have before. We'll work through Josh and with Todd to send that down for your signature, and then funds would be available on that closing date. So early December is what we're kind of projecting as of right now. But with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions. So then the thing to do would be to take comment from the public.
So do we have any patrons here that wish to comment on this?
On the lease.
On the lease of the project, yep.
Okay, then I would be looking for a motion to approve the resolution to execute First Amendment lease.
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution to execute First Amendment to lease.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. Any comment from the board on this? This is the same process that we've gone through the entire time we've been on the board, at least bonds, nothing new. So, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
And Josh will have a resolution and the lease amendment for you all to sign.
Correct. They're considered pages. We can do that. Close the meeting.
Okay.
Okay. So if you guys don't need me, I'll get out of here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good to see you
Thanks,
guys. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. So we're gonna go back now and catch up to patron concerns. Yeah, we want to go ahead and do the claims.
Sure.
No, it's coming back in consent. We'll come back. Here to spin the highlights on those.
I will. All right, so we have Karen, shortly. Here we go. We have our approval for our meeting from our August 12th, 2024. My claim doc for this period, from August 12th to 24 to September 9th, 24. Following resignations, we have Rachel Butler, resignations and retirement, sorry. Rachel Butler resigned as a high school cafeteria worker. Marla Sims resigned as instructional assistant and junior high volleyball coach. Jim Scheller resigned as our boys basketball coach for North Elementary. And Faith Aaron resigned as our volleyball coach, also from the junior high. We have the following leave request. Mallory Gibbs, FMLA. We have Amy Howland, Sarah Daughtery. We have the following hiring and transfer request. Kayla Harris, we hired as a high school cafeteria worker. Matt Weiger, hired as social media school website manager for the North Coast Junior High. Shannon Kelly received a full stipend for student council from the junior high. Jim Schellers hired as boys basketball coach for the junior high. Jim Scheller hired for the basketball coach also for the junior high. David Wilson hired long-term substitute for the innovative classroom at South Terrace. Heather Bell and Hannah Edward will be the volleyball coaches at our junior high. South Terrace ECA, Donna McGinnis and Taylor Patton split the elementary girls basketball coach. Faith Cox to be the cheer coach, Pam Wilson to be the robotics coach, and David Wilson as a volunteer robotics coach. We have the following renewals: Logic Key, which is our Harmony management system, that's at $15,693. Our Ed Minimum license, it would be $3,493, which is a reduction from last year from $15,000. We went from a whole site license to just a number, so we reduced that. And our Consociate Health, we had a renewal for 1 year. There was a slight increase, but we will not increase the rates for our employees. But slight is about a $67,000 increase, so. The following was Lance West memorandum of agreement with Dr. Chester Burkett. We talked about this for the standing orders with our nurses, 24 and 25 emergency plans for each building, and the Quanah Club of Evansville want to use our facilities for their 2024.
Poseyville.
Our Poseyville, I'm sorry. Oh, that's the first time. Sorry. Poseyville for the Autumn Fest.
Okay, thank you. I'm looking for a motion to approve the consent items.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent items. I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the consent items? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Now we're going to go back to patron concerns.
All right.
I have a list here. And no, man.
I'm just here to observe. I've never been to a school board meeting.
But you didn't have to sign in.
Welcome.
But-
Then scratch me.
She just want to be
You have to speak for 3 minutes.
You ask anybody at North Carolina, I can't talk that long.
Does anyone who signed in wish to speak?
No, we all thought that that was like a sign-in form.
We're glad you're here.
But now that we have the floor,
That's
ladies.
I've never known you to have a
You don't want the tears to get started.
All right.
So then we're gonna go on to budget portion. So at this time, I will open the meeting, the public hearing for the proposed 2025 school budget, capital projects plan, and bus replacement plan. Mr. Slagle, would you like to review that for us?
I do, and we'll scroll down through here. Our board has to approve our 2025 funds, from our education, our operations, our rainy day, and our debt service and exempt debt service. Just keep on scrolling down. So number one, we're gonna have our enrollment predictions. We're making the assumption that right now we're at 1,400, based on numbers, we have 1,403, for the sake of this, for this hearing here. You see that our basic tuition, we get money for our basic tuition, we get money for our academic performance grant, special education grant, career tech and ed center, or ed grant, and then also for our non-English speaking grant. And then here are the funds for that. This year, our basic tuition, we're receiving $7,011 in change for each student, which will come up to $9,837,000. Academic performance, or APG, would be $41,000. Special education, we're up just a little bit there to over $1 million for that. Career and tech ed at $417,000, and then our non-English speaking students, $384.
How many non-English speaking students do we have?
Currently, we have 3.
And what languages do they speak?
One kindergarten Spanish student,
Spanish-speaking student. And then we have 2 that speak, I'm not gonna say the name right. It's a language, it's an Asian language, but I'm not going to say the name of the language correctly.
I'm good with that.
Are they permanent students or are they exchange?
Our older students are permanent students, and our kindergartner obviously is a permanent student. Yeah. We do have 3 foreign exchange students as well, but they are fluent.
So total then, our basic grant will come to $11,311,000. Miscellaneous state and local, basically our license plates, things of that nature, come up to $220,000 for a total of $11,531,963. Oh, there you go. So things that we're allowed to spend out of our ed fund, you can see that academic achievement support, which looks like teachers, principals, counselors, our nurses, secretaries, teachers, assistants, and then classroom supplies and equipment. Our operations fund, our revenue source is property tax. We do have miscellaneous taxes for motorized motor vehicles, commercial vehicles, financial institution tax, local revenue sources, and then education fund transfers, where we're allowed to transfer 15. Amanda's here this evening. Amanda Lynn, our treasurer. It's 15%, correct?
Correct.
15% from our education fund into our operations fund. So our budget for that, our property taxes come in at $3,810,000, miscellaneous at $330,000. Our ed fund transfer, and you can see in the parentheses, it says up to, which would be the 15%, $1,752,000, for a total of $5,892,000. Then permissible expenditures out of our operation fund would be our overhead and our non-operationals, which would be things like operations, insurance, utilities, and vendor services. Our capital projects plan, a lot of that's going to deal with putting up our maintenance building. And we're going to have a lot of our renovations going on with our bond issue. We also are looking at a lot of our mechanicals to see if we can't shore those up so that we just have consistent airflow, heat when we want it, cool air when we want it, things like that. And then our utilities. Equipment for technology is, we are looking at also purchasing new Chromebooks we're wanting to get that on a timeline where we're not having to buy everything at one time, but buying in chunks, and our tech department has a good plan for that. So capital projects in detail is kind of, I guess I jumped the gun there, but our construction and capital improvements would be somewhere in the neighborhood of $7,500,000. HVAC boilers, we're looking at $1,200,000. Our sewer project would be a little bit over $1 million. And then facility improvements, $590,000. Transportation fund, we do have a bus replacement plan. Back in 2022, we purchased 13 buses on a lease to own, and I think we have 3 more years of that.
26 will be the last one. Yeah.
So that payment is $269,000 a year. Debt service, well, I'm going to do up on this one. So what we have up here, with our projected balance, this is really before you come in handy, right? We have our sources basically of income, but we know that our local property tax levy can be up to $4 million. If you add it up, we're coming up to about $4,321,000. This is one of our debt sources. The other one is still the New Harmony bond that we have almost $3 million left in that. And down the bottom left there would be That'd be the bond that we're gonna be paying off in December. So that will help us do what we just voted in with our lease agreement. You can see there are advertised tax rates. We've come in under 95 cents except for 1 year at 96. And this year still then to be determined. And then our fund balance is projected. You can see for July where we are, and then at the end of the year, for our ed fund, we look to be at $2,300,000. Operations, just a little bit over $1 million, and rainy day at $1.5 million. And that will be us adding money to the rainy day at the end of the year. And that's all.
Thank you very much for that. So we will look to adopt that in the October regular meeting then. Does anyone have any comments on this?
Ladies.
I do think it's interesting to note, because looking at our friends to the south, their budget is quite different than ours. They're about $36.5 million to our 11.
With about 500 more kids.
Yeah. So I think we do quite well with the resources we have. So
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
I would like to thank Ms. Lynn for coming in this evening. I told her she had to come, and she's like, I don't want to. And I said, this is my first time going through it, so I want to make sure I get it right. But I think
You did good.
But she's done a great job. Dr. Harmon, who works with her on our budget, said he wished that all the folks he worked with was as good as she is. So
Thanks. I think with that, we are on to new business. We're skipping around a lot tonight.
So one of the things that we want to talk to you about is just the teacher appreciation grant. This is something that we do annually for you, but we have to bring it to you annually for you to approve, so that when we get those funds from the state, then we can pay those out to teachers.
So looking for a motion to approve the TAG grant policy.
I'll make a motion to approve the tag grant policy. I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion on that? This is money that is not corporation funds. It just passes through the corporation.
Basically, we don't know at this time how much that will be. So then we have to go back and look at evaluations and figure out that dollar amount from there.
Okay. Any other discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
All right, so come to find out, we have to have a resolution to give those gift cards for the ice cream parlor.
Looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the gift cards. I will second it.
Any discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Going to oppose it.
Thank you for not, Larry.
Jerry would be very happy with you, and about 10 kids, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Come.
Or Dr. Walton's up here, but I don't know if she's gonna claim incapacitation.
Oh, no, I can do this. She's in my place. He's so close too. No, so next we have, 2 policies, that we brought, for just discussion today. We're not really voting on anything, just kind of leaving it up, opening up for discussion. Both of these are just administrative policies. They're not board policies like we've done through the Neola. These would be more administrative policies. More the idea of, hey, we want to get it down in our kind of administrative policy handbook that we're trying to kind of pull together to say, this is going to be our standard operating procedure on these types of things. And so really just wanting to kind of bring that conversation to the forefront to say, what are we missing? We talked about, okay, we're going to send this out. We did a survey with the staff to say, would you take a look at these? This is how we want to approach these types of situations in our district. And so give us some feedback. And so you guys have received all of those responses to the surveys, so you can see the feedback. And then we've made some edits
to the original policies due to that feedback. And so today really is just an opportunity to maybe have some questions or thoughts on those policies and whether or not that's a way we agree, to kind of operate in our business.
I appreciate the process in this and sending it out and getting feedback, and it looked like there was quite a bit of feedback on them, so that's good. Thank you for that.
Yeah. I think it's been informative to get an understanding of the days that have accumulated over the years for all different personnel, certified, classified, all different personnel, these number of days that have accumulated, and kind of the perception of our people of how to sort of handle when I get closer to retirement or not doing this work anymore. How do we, how is that handled? And then what kind of burden does that put on if I do take those days off because I've earned those days or I've accumulated those days, the burden that then it puts on to keep going with our operations because we have people for a reason. So it's brought up some really good conversations, I think, to be able to think through, how do we support our people, but also keep things going.
So this will be coming back then next month.
If you would like it to, it doesn't require a board vote. It's more for sake of conversation. Like I said, it's administrative policies, which we typically have not really necessarily brought, for a board vote. But again, for sake of transparency and having these types of conversations in public meeting, I think that's always good practice. So if you guys would like to vote on them, we certainly can bring them back for vote. But otherwise, it's more of just like weighing in.
Having to do it over and over for every administrative policy.
Yeah.
But it would be good, I think, to have some time. I haven't had time to review those comments and all of that stuff. So I think it'd be good to have that and we could have some discussion later.
Do you have a certain date that you want to put these into effect then?
We have been operating this way this year, because we kind of had to make some decisions on what to do about some situations, and so we have been operating this way. The only reason we sort of kind of put them down into a policy per se to move forward was to say, when we face this, if I'm not here or Amy's not here, so if the people that kind of made the decision to do this aren't here in the future and we come up against a similar situation, is there any guide, to kind of say, hey, this is what we felt like was most fair and how we were going to do it. And so that's kind of more that policy-driven mindset rather than people-driven mindset. And so that's really kind of why we started putting some things on paper. And then, obviously when you put things on paper, then you start asking great questions, and having a really good conversation, and getting some understanding even about maybe what are some other things we need to look at and have a conversation about.
Thank you very much for that. We're on to personnel.
All right, we have some professional leave coming up. We have folks from the high school. They're going to go up to early college network meeting. I believe that's at the University of Indianapolis. We have, that'd be Robin Bretz, Mr. Fisher, and Michelle Parrish. Shannon McMahon and Paige Rohr will be going up to a early learning conference in Avon. Nathan Brandel, Ignite Manufacturing Summit in Jeffersonville from our high school. Shannon McMahon will be going to the iCase Fall Conference. Paige Rohr will be going to a multi-level support for multilingual learners in Huntingburg. And then our treasurer and deputy treasurer, Amanda Lynn and Amber Olander, will be going to the Voice Amplify conference in Fishers.
All right, looking for a motion to approve professional leave.
I'll make a motion that we approve the professional leave request.
I'll second
Any discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
it.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Reports and information.
We just have our fall conference coming up here in a couple of weeks for the ISBA. And then our next board meeting will be on Monday, October 14th. Our with executive board meeting starting at 5:30.
For that conference, when will we leave and from where?
We usually leave from here, and it depends. I was looking back, is that Autumn Fest weekend?
No.
It is not.
Okay, it is not this time.
Conference is 28th and 29th.
I will already be at Dallas. Have a great granddaughter birthday party I have to go to.
Usually we leave mid-afternoon,
It's usually like 3-ish.
2 or 3 o'clock.
We'll get
On Sunday?
some details on that out.
Okay.
Does anyone have anything good at cause? I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
We are adjourned.
We have several things.
Yeah.